Throughout the history of mankind, the divine messages are often shrouded in mystery. Prophets, messiahs, or whichever names you call them, are often persecuted and oppressed, their words obscured. But how do we distinguish the true from the false? To do so, one can only rely on the divine's guidance, and the truth will reveal itself to those who earnestly seek it. Up till now, we have come to know about some of the past great kings who were prophesied to return in the future as the world's savior. To put it another way, it was one savior king all along, who had been manifesting in different parts of the world as these outstanding rulers.
I have been in this planet, a long time, become kings and queens and founders of many religious monks and nuns order.
From High King Arthur of Britain to the French King Francis I, to Mongolia's Genghis Khan, Lord Quetzalcoatl of the Toltecs, and King Gesar of Tibet, plus many others.
etc.
We hope that these revelations of Supreme Master Ching Hai's past lives make you feel as delighted and inspired as we do, kind viewers. Our only regret is not yet knowing all of the benevolent lives that Master has lived before over the ages. It is certain that there were so many more around the globe. Any one of Master's incarnations would fill many volumes with accounts of their extraordinary lives. But even with a brief look, we can easily find notable similarities among their deeds, as well as with those of Supreme Master Ching Hai today. For example, often Master was born in violent times, overcoming difficulties, even attempts on her life. It must have been heaven's protection and the divine plan, because despite the dangers, Master would rise to power and achieve the unachievable. This was the case with King Arthur of Britain and Queen Sondeok of Korea, who both as infants had to be sent away for their safety. Similarly, Genghis Khan and King Gesar, though rightful heirs to the throne, were outcasts in their early years. Yet all four of these individuals surmounted huge odds and brought stability and unity to their lands. In this lifetime too, Master was born in wartime and has overcome many attacks from the negative force, both before and after becoming a master. Master sometimes has to work in hiding still, for safety reasons, though most of it she did not mention. Even though some of us knew about those situations, Master didn't let us talk about it. But despite innumerable obstacles, she triumphs in uniting our world with her message of peace and love. Second, civilizations made great progress in the countries that Master graced. Consider the many ways Lord Quetzalcoatl prospered the lives of the Toltecs, the modernization of Britain during Queen Victoria's era, or the founding of the unique democracy called America under its first president, George Washington. In the present time, we can find similar patterns. Ever since Master lived in Aulac, also known as Vietnam, and in Germany, these two countries have seen remarkable economic prosperity. Also, as brilliant administrators, China's first emperor Qin Shi Huang, King Rama V of Thailand, Korea's King Sejong the Great, and King Chanyang Tong, etc., abolished old systems such as slavery and confidently embraced new reforms, be it the rule of law, science and medicine, support for farmers, a standardized written language, and/or a uniform wage system to facilitate commerce. Even when seeking talent, many of Master's past lives, like Genghis Khan and King Chanyang Tong of Aulac or Vietnam, began employing officials based on their merits and ability rather than family status. All these changes were to strengthen the nation and benefit the common people. These examples also prove the visionary wisdom Master has always had, including in this lifetime. For example, while the rest of our world only recently began accepting veganism as the food of the future, Master has been working towards world vegan for the past nearly 4 decades.
You see, it is very clear in the Bible that we should be vegan. And by all scientific reasons, we should be vegan. And by all health reasons, we should be again vegan. And by all economical reasons, we should be vegan. And by all compassionate reasons, we should be vegan. And by saving the world, we should be vegan. It is stated in some research that if the people in America would eat vegan once a week, we would save 60 million people every year. So be a hero, be vegan, by all reasons. Go green to save the planet. Before we keep saying everywhere, please don't kill the animals, please don't cut down the trees. Now everybody seems to pay attention. At least they realize the danger of climate change and the benefit of protecting the environment and animals. Soon it will come to the day when if you kill an animal, it will be classified as murder. I'm waiting. Yes. If you take a life, that's killing. That's murder.
The third interesting similarity is that just as Master encourages the arts which elevate people's minds, so did many of her other past incarnations as monarchs. For instance, King Francis I, who was the Renaissance King of France, Britain's theatre-going Queen Elizabeth I, Emperor Wu of Han, and Kangxi Emperor of China, etc. As another of her trademark actions, Master would go on arduous tours of her kingdom in order to understand and improve the people's welfare. She made these travels openly as King Francis I, on horseback in rain or shine, and incognito as China's Qianlong Emperor and the Thai King Rama V. We could go on and on about the wonderful highlights shared among Master's past lives, like the fact that many of them were vegetarian and engaged in prayer and meditation with their people in mind. But what these all seem to reveal is an unchanging compassion and deep devotion to others. The Austrian and Hungarian people will always remember Empress Elizabeth, Sissi, who sympathized with the commoners and often comforted the sick and wounded in hospitals like an angel of mercy. The same is true in Aulac or Vietnam, where Emperor Li Tantong is still praised as the merciful king, the one who always worried whether the people had enough food and on one cold night had warm bedding sent to all the prisoners. In another example from our association members' inner vision, when Master was the renowned Queen Cleopatra in ancient Egypt, in whatever she was doing, even just drinking a cup of fruit juice, she was always exhausting her wisdom in thinking, what can I do to let my people live better? How can I accomplish God's mission that was entrusted to me? etc. It is no wonder that in humans' long history, these few great leaders became legends who won our hearts forever.
저는 2000년에 명상안거 도중 스승님께서 한국의 선덕 여왕이심을 보게 되었습니다. 그 비전에서 저는 선덕 여왕님의 일생을 봤습니다. 선덕 여왕님은 북두칠성의 6번째 별인 계양성에서 내려오신 고불이시고 계양성은 쌍성이라는 것을 보고 선덕 여왕님이 쌍둥이로 태어나실 것을 예시했습니다. 점성가는 그녀가 태어나기 전에 왕이 될 것이라고 예언했습니다. 당시 황태후는 자신이 집권하길 원했기 때문에 황후가 남자아이를 낳을까봐 두려워했습니다. 황후가 낳은 첫 번째 아이는 여자아이로서 선덕 여왕님이 언니였습니다. 태후는 아이가 쌍둥이인 줄 모르고 떠났습니다. 황후는 조금 늦게 극비리에 쌍둥이 동생을 낳아 궁녀와 함께 벌 밖으로 내보내 선덕 여왕님을 키웠습니다. 그리고 여왕님은 태후가 보낸 암살이 위기를 아슬아슬하게 피해갔습니다. 다 클 때까지 남장을 하고 지내셨으며 중국에서 사업을 경영하셨습니다. 그리고 한국으로 돌아와서는 몽골군과 싸우셨고 그 후 여왕으로 등극하시는 것을 내적 비전에서 보았습니다. 내면의 비전에서 보면 온갖 아찔한 고난을 다 겪으셨죠. 여왕으로 즉위하신 후에는 국정을 매우 지혜롭게 잘 해나가셨습니다. 조세를 감면하였을 뿐만 아니라 백성들의 생활도 개선하셔서 백성들은 그 어느 때보다도 편안한 생활을 할 수 있었습니다. 백성들은 여왕님을 하늘에서 내려온 살아계신 신선으로 매우 숭배했습니다. 그리고 세상을 떠날 때 선덕 여왕님께서 가부좌를 한 상태로 왕생하시는 모습을 보았습니다. 내면이 비전에서 선덕 여왕님의 얼굴이 지금의 칭하이 스승님의 아름다운 모습이었고 이를 통해 스승님께서 바로 선덕 여왕님이라는 것을 확실하게 알게 해주셨습니다. 관세음 보살님께서 맹상 중에 저에게 말씀하시기를 선덕 여왕님은 나중에 다시 한국으로 돌아와 왕이 되셨다고 하셨습니다. 선덕 여왕님은 바로 구세주이신 칭하이 무상사입니다. 2003년도에는 또 한 번이 안거 중에 스승님께서 모든 한국인이 존경하고 사랑하는 세종대왕이셨다는 것도 알게 되었습니다. 즉 선덕 여왕님이 환생하여 다시 돌아오신 것입니다. 내적 비전에서 보니 대왕님은 태자였을 적부터 한글을 연구하셨습니다. 자금인들에게 글을 가르치고자 하셨기에 한글을 만드셨지만 당시 관리들은 백성들이 너무 지식이 있는 것을 원치 않았습니다. 그래야 백성들을 통제하고 다스리기 쉬웠기 때문이죠. 그래서 관리들은 세종대왕님을 암살하려고 했습니다. 그래도 세종대왕님은 온갖 어려움을 이겨내고 백성들에게 직접 발명하신 한글을 배울 기회를 주셨습니다. 그리하여 모든 백성이 글을 읽을 수 있게 되었습니다. 그리고 많은 어진 정책을 시행하시고 조세를 감면하여 백성들이 생활을 돌보셨기 때문에 백성들은 세종대왕님을 하느님으로 받들고 공경했습니다. 세종대왕님의 일생이 마치 연극을 보듯이 주마등처럼 순식간에 지나갔고 마찬가지로 세종대왕님의 얼굴도 오늘날 칭하이 스승님의 얼굴인 것을 볼 수 있었습니다. 관세음 보살님께서 저에게 말씀하시기를 세종대왕님은 말법시대에 거룩한 참 스승이 되실 것이며 많은 제자를 둔다고 하셨습니다. 그리고 저는 장기간 안가를 하면서 스승님께서 미륵불이 강림이시며 예수, 노자, 관세음보살, 강희황제, 아서왕, 징기스칸 등도 모두 스승님이셨음을 보았습니다. 이 모든 것은 제가 내적 비전으로 생생하게 본 것입니다. 이번 생에서 스승님이 제자가 될 수 있는 것은 참으로 감사하고 감격스러운 일입니다. 스승님께서는 세세생생 각 지역의 참 스승이 되셨고 여러 나라의 황제, 여왕 등등으로 오셔서 국민들이 고통을 해소해 주셨고 이 세상에 빛과 희망을 주셨습니다. 제자는 스승님의 은혜에 어떻게 감사해야 할지 모르겠습니다. 스승님이 신심이 늘 편안하시고 하시는 모든 일이 원만하시기를 기원합니다.
Gentle viewers, thank you for joining us today. Please tune in again next week for more fascinating insights about the Savior King of our time.